I am instructing you to sign a letter here to invite a vice president of a country. You say you cannot. I said, I won't. This man has international sanctions against him. This is a man who is butchering women and children, Mr. President. I'm a Christian. I'm a father. I will not do it. I went. Right alone, I learned my signature was forged to invite him. I went, I faced the president. I told him, if this man lands in this country on an invitation purportedly signed by me, I would disown him. So the visit was stood down. And then he told me, well, Taniona, I am tired of you. You are a very difficult character. You are the worst mistake I've made in my 35 years of politics. I regret having nominated you as my deputy. You are a very difficult character. I am president. I'm telling you to do, and you say you are blackmailing me that you are going to disown the letter. I refused. I want to say this. For the deaths occurring in the Sudan, the real commander of RSF is not Hemeti, it's William Ruto, because for a movement to succeed, it needs money. The money from gold is being cleaned through Kenya to buy arms to go and kill women and children.
And you know my next question would be to substantiate these claims.
But I'm saying this guy was here, his movement was here the other day.
That's in the public
Listen,
domain.
no, I'm asking you. This man has international sanctions against him for genocide.
True.
He has been given a safe haven in Nairobi. He was here forming a government in KICC. That cannot happen without William Ruto. And I want to tell the international community.
But the claims of doing business...
No, everybody knows that he is selling gold through Nairobi. You may pretend not to know, or
I'm not pretending. Don't shoot the messenger.
Everybody knows.
I'm just trying to find out.
Everybody
made claims that the president is doing business.
Everybody knows that why William Ruto is having relations with Hemedi through Nairobi is for the gold business. And the gold business, the proceeds are buying arms to butcher children and women. And I want to ask the international community, I want to say I'm available to give evidence. And I want to tell the international community, it is pointless to levy sanctions against Hemeti. The person you need to levy sanctions against is William Ruto. And this thing of Sudan will be sorted out, because if there are sanctions against William Ruto, he'll stop entertaining Hemeti. Gold will stop being processed in Nairobi. There will be no money to buy arms to go and kill children and women. Number two.
How is this gold being cleaned in Nairobi? Because unless you were party to it, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I was deputy president.
So should we treat it as allegations?
I was deputy president.
Okay.
I know what goes on in this country. I have a lot of information. Even today, when I'm out of government, I have serious networks within this administration. There is nothing that goes on that I don't know.
Okay, we'll treat it as allegations. Proceed.
Again, another issue is Kosovo. Yeah? Very senior officers from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs came to see me because it had become apparent to everybody. Nobody in the cabinet can face William Ruto. I was the only person. So what was happening is that where people felt things are not going well, they would come and see me. They told me that internationally it is unwise for the Kenyan government to acknowledge or recognize Kosovo. And that will create us problems internationally. And they say, we want you to talk to the president, because none of us can talk to him because he's adamant that we need to recognize Kosovo, and it will create us international problems. And I went to see the president, and I said, Mr. President, senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have come to see me over this matter. And he was mad. He was in a rage. He wanted to know who they are. I said, I cannot tell you because you'll fire them. But this is information. Please don't do it. It will soil our image. He said, go to hell. I am the president. I make decisions in this country. And if you don't like it, you can quit this government. And Regadi, please, keep off foreign affairs. I said, Mr. President, these are concerns that have been raised to me. this is about our image internationally. Yeah, and I think it is only fair that you listen to me. Only for me to come and realize later that the president and the president of Kosovo are having a business deal in Mombasa, or a hotel in Mombasa.
Which hotel is this?
Let me give you the name. It's just it's escaping my mind.
Now we're talking. Okay.
It's escaping my mind, and so because of commercial interests, yeah, by the president, commercial interest by the president, as a country now, you have heard what has happened. Zambia is up in arms. Yeah. Moscow is up in arms. Yeah. It's the Dolphin Hotel
in Mombasa.
The Dolphin Hotel is a joint venture between President William Ruto and the president of Kosovo. And because of the president's commercial and selfish interests, we are now in trouble with Serbia. We are in trouble with Russia. I mean, this is not right, you know. And he really hated me for raising that matter.
Okay.
And he was very bitter. Again, you know, he's also interfering with the DRC. And I can confirm that he is creating problems in the DRC through involvement with M23 because of his interest in gold business in the DRC. And as the chairman of the East African community, William Ruto can also have a problem in this region because he is an interested party because of commercial interest. And that is why you found that our embassy in Kinshasa was attacked by the people of that country because of our involvement, you know, in the internal affairs of that country and involvement with the rebel movement against a legally established government.
Right.
So these are things that the president and I were disagreeing from time to time. Because I told him, you know, again, people from foreign affairs came to see me. I went to see him. Again, he really told me off, you know, and told me to keep off foreign affairs and leave it to him and the Minister for Foreign Affairs. I said, Mr. President, this has to do with the stability of our region. So I want to say to us, the international community, to put an eye on this country. We are not going to have peace and security in this region unless they rein in on the impunity of William Ruto and his appetite for commercial ventures in the region. Because of his appetite for commercial ventures, he is putting the country in an embarrassing diplomatic position and is endangering peace and security within the region. And these are things I raised with the president because nobody else could face him. Musalia cannot face him. Nobody else can face him. It's all trouble when they see him. Even when they know what he's doing is wrong, you know, nobody else can face him. And that is why he had to get rid of me because I was becoming an irritant. You know, every time there are issues, I raise it with him.
Okay.
And yeah.
So you've mentioned Dolphin Hotel, and we'll definitely try and look up at the ownership of that hotel.
Oh,
the DRC issue.
You'll never see it. It will be hidden. There's a lawyer called Adil. He'll have fixed fixed the proxies. You will never get to it. But I've told you, yeah. Let the president tell us that the president of Kosovo is not involved in that venture.
Okay, and just to clarify, the DRC embassy was attacked due to the president's statement when he said he had called Macron the president from France.
The real thing is his involvement. The real thing is his involvement in matters DRC and his dalliance with M23.
Where's the evidence? At the end of the day, I'm a journalist, so I'll have to try and.
You need to dig a little bit further. I've given you the angle. You need to do a bit more investigative journalism, and you'll come and tell me what I'm telling you is the truth.
Okay, so in retrospect, because you seem to corroborate with what the former CS Justin Muturi said in an interview last week Friday, if I'm not wrong, where he said the president is irredeemably corrupt and is unfit to lead this nation. So from where you see it, how much has Kenya lost due to these dealings by the head of state?
Well, Kenya has lost 38 billion shillings to Italians on Arol, Kimorel, and Itare Dam. President William Ruto says Muturi is incompetent. That is a lie. Muturi was a very competent attorney general. He's a patriot. He is a hero to this country. President William Ruto had serious problems with Justin Muturi because he would never agree to give a nod to corrupt deals. Justin Muturi was ordered by President William Ruto to sanitize Arol and Kimorel, and he refused. And the president said the case between us and the Italians, we had a very weak case. And he told the president, no, we have a very strong case because these people never delivered anything, but they were paid 38 billion shillings. So we have a strong case. He said, no. The criminal charges against those people were withdrawn by Nurdin Haja's DPP. And the president picked a team without Muturi to go to Italy, headed by his private lawyer Adil as chairman, Nurdin Haji and Kennedy Ogeto to go and sanitize Arol and Kimorel. And that happened. And Muturi was not involved, and the president was very bitter with Muturi. In fact, I heard him saying Muturi is incompetent. One day, I heard something. We were in a place called Kanyuambora on the 7th of August 2024. That is just after he had removed him as AG and appointed him as Minister for Public Service. So I heard him telling the Muslims that he had a very incompetent AG. You know, he has double speak. This is what he told the people of Kanyambora. William Ruto says different things depending on who he's talking to. When he wanted to please the Muslims of their issues, he says Muturi is incompetent. But when he was in Embu in Kanyambora, to please the people of Embu, he says something different. He says, asanteni sana watu wa Kanyambora kwa kunipatia huyu Justin Muturi. Amenisukumia sana mambo ya sheria. Sasa nimempatia kazi ya kunisimamia wafanyikazi wote nchini Kenya. He was saying how competent he is. One day, President called me and he was in a rage. Actually abusive. Wewe Rigiji, huyu mjinga, mbere huyu naitwa Justin Muturi, ni mjinga sana. Can you look for him? Umwambie, I am his appointing authority, mimi ndio rais. I have called him, I have given him instructions to sign some documents, and he is saying he cannot sign. You tell him, kama utamuongelesha Kiembu, umuongelesha Kiembu kama ndio atasikia. Ya kwamba if he does not execute those documents, I want his letter of resignation akifika Nairobi.
This is while he was AG.
Yeah. I said, Mr. President, calm down. What is the problem? He said, hiyo mtu ni mjinga, mlevi, very incompetent fellow. Hii mtu uliletea, ulitoa hii mtu wapi? He was very quarrelsome. He was almost abusing me. So I said, okay, Mr. President, let me talk to him. I called Justin Muturi, and the number was roaming. Yeah, AG, hey, where are you? He said, no, I'm in Dubai on transit. I'm coming from somewhere. I'm on the way back to Nairobi. I said, the president has called me and he's very bitter that you are disobeying him and there are things he has asked you to do and you are not doing. Why are you disobeying the president, Mr. AG? He says, no, president has asked me to sign them documents in the lobby of an international airport. Documents I have not seen. Documents I have not verified. Documents I have not authenticated. I mean, DP, how do I sign things that I don't know? And it's about $1 billion US, and these are things that I don't know. And these people, DP, I'm very unhappy. They called staff from my office. President is telling me, your people have worked on it, just sign. And nobody told me that they have called people from my office. I cannot sign. The president says you resign when you come. He said, no problem, I'll resign, but I'll not sign. Nikanyamaza. So nikaenda kutafuta president baadaye. Nikamwongelesha pole pole nini huyu Muturi amesema ya bana hiyo mtu ni mjinga. That man, where did we get this man from? He's a very difficult character and he is really, sabotaging my programs. Hii ni maneno mimi nimepanga ya climate change, and now he is frustrating, I said okay, I left. So later on, after 3 weeks, Muturi came and to see me. He said, muti ya nyumbani, hii kasi imekuwa ngumu. The thing the president was asking me to sign is a fraud. It's $1 billion US that is being brought to the country without going through the National Treasury, which is contrary to the PMF Act. This money is supposed to go to the Ministry of Environment without going through the National Treasury. I have done due diligence. The owners of that farm have criminal cases against them. And there are people who are involved in money laundering. And from my investigation, this is money laundering. I'm not going to do it. So I told the president what he has said. And he was very bitter. And do you know what has happened? Since Justin Muturi refused that thing, the talk of climate change, for the last 1 year, you have not heard the president talk about climate change. That 1 year, 2023, he was talking about nothing else but climate change. It was a scheme for money laundering. We were talking about planting 15 billion trees. That deal for $1 billion US dollars was supposedly to plant 3 billion trees. These 15 billion trees was a fraud to bring in money in a country for money laundering. And since Justin Muturi, who in my view is a hero for this country, refused, you have never heard for the last 1 year the Minister for Environment or the President talk about the 15 billion trees, because it was scuttled by Justin Muturi. Again, the last one about Justin Muturi. Why he's a hero? We were in Naivasha, and again the President was mad that Justin Muturi had refused to okay a purchase of land for industrial park. And the President, we slept in Naivasha, we were in a retreat. He called me to his suite, and he said, I want you to talk to this tribesman of yours. Na hii watu yako riji wananisumbua kwa hii serikali. Hii watu ya mlima wananisumbua. Martha Koome ananisumbua, huyu Muturi ananisumbua, wewe saa ingine unaleta kichwa ngumu, niko na shida na nyinyi. Wewe ongea na Muturi, we want to buy 11,000 acres to jenga industrial park, tufungue Naivasha. Can you talk to him? I said, yeah, well, I look for Muturi. He said, no. I have told the President that it is illegal to get money from SFT. SFT is a settlement fund trust. That is money meant to settle the landless. He said it is not legally possible to use money for settling the landless people to buy land for industrial use. Yes. Again, he told me this land has not been procured competitively. I mean, how do you procure land for 8 billion shillings without any tender, without any due process?
So you're a single source.
How do I, as AG, do that? He said, I can't do it.
Okay.
Again, when we were in Kakamega for a cabinet meeting, he was again mad with the AG because the then CS Health reported Muturi to the President that he has refused to sign a cabinet memo for the 4 health bills. And the health bill, and I again talked to Muturi. He said those bills did not originate from my office. As Attorney General, all government bills must originate from my chambers, from the State Law Office. These bills were done in State House. I have no input. How do I append my signature to something I have not originated? So the fight between William Ruto and Justin Muturi is, one, he refused to okay corruption. He refused to own bills that he has not originated, and he refused to be twisted by the President to allow money laundering in the country. And to me, again, the President is calling him incompetent, the way he called me incompetent, the way he called Uhuru Kenyatta incompetent. Anybody who doesn't agree to what he is saying is incompetent. The same with the Mithika Linturi. And I had a fight with the President, myself, because President William Ruto was Minister for Agriculture during the Kibaki time. During Uhuru 1, that is the first 2-3 years, 2013 to 2016, Felix Kosgei, the head of public service, was the Minister for Agriculture. So when Mithika Linturi was appointed Minister of Agriculture, the President and Felix Kosgei were running the ministry. Mithika Linturi was just a flower girl in the ministry. And I can tell you, they wanted to fix him about fertilizer. All fertilizer is procured at State House. Yeah? The President determines to buy from who, at how much. It is the President who does that with Felix Kosgei. So when they were trying to fix Linturi, when they brought bad fertilizer, and I'll give you evidence, the one that you want, because I think this is important. A company called Maisha Minerals and Fertilizers Limited. This is Defki, who is a partner of the president. He is also into fertilizer, and he is the one who imported bad fertilizer.
Okay.
So when the report came from KEBS, saying this fertilizer is bad, President William Ruto ordered Linturi to allow the fertilizers to come in and forget about it. Then they wanted to arrest Linturi and take him to court for this fertilizer this year. And I told the president, you cannot do that. You know, Mideka Linturi is innocent. It is yourself and Felix Kosgei who are buying fertilizer in State House. In fact, as we speak today, I want to tell the Kenyan farmers, today there is no fertilizer and the long rains are here. Because fertilizer has not been prepared. Because it's the president himself who does it. He decides from who at what price. And this has taken time. Okay?
All right, all right.
And again, finally, the Russian government gave us 40,000 metric tons of fertilizer.
The donation.
Donation. It was given to this man called Maisha Minerals by the president. And another 30,000 metric tons from Nigeria given to the same man. They blended and sold it to government. A donation from Russia, a donation from Nigeria was processed and sold to the Kenya government at the same price that we were buying fertilizer from. And I would like you, now that I've told you, go and ask the Ministry of Agriculture, the fertilizer that came from Russia as a donation, which farmers were given free of charge? The ones that came from Nigeria, which farmers were given free of charge? The president gave it to Maisha Minerals, Defki, his friend, blended, packed, and sold to the Kenya government. They pocketed billions of shillings. That is why we are saying, what Muturi was saying, it is true. You know, the president would speak in cabinet. Hey, mimi, sitaki ufisadi katika serikali yangu. Na mimi, I will be merciless to anybody who is caught up in corruption. You know, people will just look at him because all the procurement in this government is done by William Ruto. In fact, in cabinet, behind the scenes, because nobody could speak openly except me and maybe Muturi, the president in cabinet, behind him, is known as the principal procurement officer of the Kenya government. All decisions are made in State House, in fact, even in affordable housing. All the contractors are decided in State House. In fact, let me tell you, these markets you are seeing.
As we finally.
Let me tell you, these markets you are seeing.
Okay.
They are being built with money from the housing levy because we are not able to absorb money for the housing levy. And that is illegal, of course, because the money was collected for housing, but it's doing the markets. Why the president cannot agree to give this function to the counties? You know, markets are a devolved function. It's because of the procurement aspect. He is the one procuring the people who build these markets. And then when he finishes building, he gives them to the counties. I want to challenge President William Ruto. If you are not involved in corruption, President, make a decision tomorrow. This money for markets, transfer it to the counties. Let them procure, let them supervise, let them open the markets. You have no business, Mr. President.
All right.
Like now when he was in Central Kenya opening markets, he's not interested in the end product.
Okay.
His interest in this market business is the procurement aspect. And that is why, despite the fact that markets are a devolved function, the president cannot let go because he's micromanaging the procurement of markets for his own gain. He's the one who negotiates with the contractors. In fact, why the president has no time to fix this country, he spends most of his time on procurement.
Well, the president, of course, is not here to defend himself. Neither is Maisha
No,
Minerals.
you look for him and ask him these
do
questions.
Due diligence,
Yes,
and
please.
definitely uncover, as is our work as the fourth estate. So, all things said and done, you seem to be hinting to the fact that commercial interests supersede the national interest.
Absolutely.
In this country.
This is a commercial government. The government of Kenya, led by President William Ruto, is a transactional government. It's a commercial government. Everything is driven by commercial interests.
Even while you
diplomacy,
are in it.
international relations, local issues, markets, roads, everything is commercial. E-citizen, my friend, When we came in, the president was very mad that e-citizen is in private hands. After some time, shares exchanged hands, and the president ordered that all government services be onboarded. He stopped talking about the private people. 70% of e-citizen is owned by private people. Your guess is as good as mine. Ask Adil, he'll tell you who are the owners of e-citizen, who is the owner of Lisa. Today,
so they're the ones benefiting from that 50 shillings.
That 50, any time you say citizen, the Madrins at State House have your money. This government is a money-making machine, and there is no national interest. There is no concern for the people of Kenya. And we may reach a point we may ask the people not to pay taxes, because it is a government, everything is an enterprise. There is nothing that is being done for national interest.
Okay.
And everything starts and stops with William Ruto.
So we haven't been able to canvass one issue, and that's to reflect on the president's 5-day campaign-styled development tour. I hope that passes with you, because at the end of the day, there was so much tension before his visit. There was speculation that perhaps the ground might be hostile, but we saw the crowds in their numbers welcoming the president. Some leaders were jeered and booed, but that notwithstanding, critics argue that you might be losing your grip on the Mount Kenya region, that perhaps the decamping of the Maragua Member of Parliament, Mary Wamaua, is a writing on the wall of things to come. How would you respond to those?
Well, to start with,
yes,
the president was welcome in the mountain, and we asked the people to let him come and talk to them. I heard him saying he has a 20-year history with the people of the mountain. If that is true, he has not understood the people who are his friends for 20 years. If he had taken time to understand these people of the mountain, he would know that they hate betrayal, they hate deception, they hate lies, they hate being misused. And probably he had genuine friends, they would also tell him, when those things fall occur, there's no remedy. But the people of the mountain are very intelligent people.
Okay.
And they don't fight, they don't shout, they don't throw stones. They're just nice guys. And we agreed that we have a political problem with the president, but we also are very practical to acknowledge that he is president until 2027, God willing. And we must relate with him one way or another. And in our own way, because we know how to converse. We don't do it in public meetings. We are very silent. There was an agreement and understanding among the mountain people that our relationship with the president going forward is commercial and transactional. And the people of the mountain are business people. We said if anybody has some money to bring to us, we take it, because even when you own a shop, you don't have to like your customer. What is important is if he has money to pay you. So we asked our people, come out and welcome the president. You saw the number of buses, the mobilization, the borders, 3,000 each, the dancing women, 2,000 each.
Allow me
there was too much. There was too much money,
because there are claims of mobilizing financially. The president's men yesterday disregarded these claims.
No, that is okay. But you saw the clips. You saw people being coached what to say. You saw money changing hands.
I didn't see. That's what I'm asking. But you have the evidence.
I'll give you the clips. You have seen people saying we were promised 2,000, we were given 1,000. But we are saying it doesn't matter. The president is happy. He got good photographs. He got good options. And that is fine. He's welcome again in August. And if possible, let him come in December. We need him because we need money for Christmas. He's most welcome. The people of the mountain have made some serious decisions. Those decisions cannot be changed by anybody. They cannot be changed by anything. And we are not fighting. I am not fighting with the president for the control of the mountain. I heard he said he's the king of the mountain. Let him be the king of the mountain. And if he's the king of the mountain, he did not go around. He should have just used his chopper, go to the Lenana Peak and pronounce himself as king. If he wants to be the king of the mountain, let him proceed. About, I don't know, MP decamping from where? The people of the mountain don't follow leaders. It is the leaders who listen to the people and where they want to go and align. That is what I do myself all the time.
So she listened to the people and decided to decamp.
I'm saying, if that is what the people told her, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If that is what the people told her, it is fine. But what I know is that the people of the mountain are not led. They tell the leaders where to go. So if the president believes he has the ground in the Mount Kenya, he's the president. If he believes he's a kingpin on the mountain, so be it, as we are not bothered. All we know is that we have agreed on how to go politically. The people of the mountain have told me that we made a mistake to go to an election without our own political party. They have said that will never happen again. They have asked me to form a political party, a national one, which I have done, which will be announcing in May. That is what they have told me. Again, they have told me that they will not agree to be divided, and our vote will go to one basket. That has been agreed. Again, they have told me they are aware the president wanted to isolate us, and that is why he had a meeting in Mount Elgon, where the MP for Ebuye announced where the president was there, that they will unite everybody to isolate the mountain. They are aware of that, and therefore they have told me to look for friends, and I'm doing that, and things are going on very well. About what will happen politically, that is a story for another day. Let's keep on observing.
Okay.
And are we asking the president? He came to the mountain. People of the mountain welcomed him. Nobody disturbed him. Nobody jeered him. Of course, his cronies had a very difficult time in Nyandarua and Lari and Githunguri. And why they had a problem in Nyandarua, Lari, and Githunguri, those three places are unique. Nyandarua is the home of the Mau Mau struggle. Lari is where we had the Lari massacre. Githunguri is where the independent church started. That's where this struggle for independence started. The people of the mountain had a big problem with the traitors and collaborators than the white colonialists. Because the collaborators and the traitors made them suffer a lot. The people of Nyandarua and Lari and Githunguri cannot stand traitors. That is why you saw that reaction.
Okay.
They didn't have a problem with William Ruto per se, in terms of showing that they are unhappy. But people who have betrayed the community, the people of Lari, the people of Githunguri, the people of Nyandarua could not hide their feelings.
And as we finalize on this, just briefly, you mentioned that the mountain has left the Kenya Kwanza administration, specifically the UDA party, to the rest of the country who are watching the masses and the claps and some instances of boos and jeers. Does it poke holes into your submission that the mountain has truly left the mountain?
I don't know. That is subjective. But let me also tell you, even William Ruto,
yes,
where he sits, if he is honest to himself, he knows he was talking to his money. He was talking to his money, and a man can do what he wants with his money. He could have put the money in a big heap in State House and talk to it, or decide to take it to the people, give them, and put them together and talk to them. That is his decision.
Okay.
And he can come to the mountain. The meetings will be as big as he wants, depending on how much he wants to invest. The quality of the meeting, the clapping and the cheering, will be determined by what he wants to invest. We are business people in the mountain. We are commercial people. Our relationship with the president going forward is transactional, is commercial. And it is him to determine that relationship for now. How does he want to relate with the people of the mountain? There is only one thing that is not transactional in the mountain. The vote. That is never sold.
Okay.
But clapping, attending your meeting, saying sawa sawa, that one is, those are services that are freely available to anybody.
Well and good. As we finalize this chaos that erupted at a church service in Mwiki just yesterday, where you were in attendance, we saw a group of unidentified men storm the sanctuary, briefly halting the event, and they were demanding payment from you.
Yes, nobody was demanding payment. If you saw in the morning, even before we left for Mwiki, a blogger who blogs for the president had already indicated that we shall be having a problem for people demanding money. Okay, he had already said in the morning, and it is there, we'll show it to you.
Even before
we went, he said that we are going to Mwiki, and people will come to demand there for their money. So the people who arranged the goons, the governor of Nairobi, they gave them a narrative to say that they're asking for money. I got this information the night before. I have people right inside government, in police, DCI, National Intelligence Service.
And that's okay, but at the end of the day, we're looking for proof.
I am just saying, I am just saying, when I got that information, I've heard DCI saying that the police were not aware we were going. In the morning, I put a message to the DIG, because he's the one who told police not to attend. And I put the message at 8 o'clock, it is here. So he cannot say they were not aware because I told him. Yeah. And I told him exactly who has arranged this violence. And I told him what his role is in the matter. And it is not the first time goons are being organized against me. If it was the first time, they organized goons in Limuru. Today I've heard DCI say they are investigating. Limuru, it happened in November. Nobody has ever been arrested, despite the fact that the people are known and they were there in pictures. They attacked me in Shamata in December. An inspector of police who threw tear gas at me, he has never even been transferred. Yeah? In Nyeri, during the ACK, goons that are known were there. So what is happening is that the president has been cheated by his cronies here in the mountain. That the mountain can come back if you get rid of Rigathi Gachagua. He is the one who is inciting them. And if Rigathi is not allowed to move around to incite the people against you, you can recover the mountain. So let's do everything possible to make sure he doesn't go anywhere. For his information today, I want to tell President William Ruto, I don't need to have to go anywhere for me to talk to the people of the mountain. The people of the mountain have a way of communicating without going to a public rally. And decisions are made and agreed on, and that is what is happening. When you decided you are coming to the mountain, we communicated people to come out in thousands and pick your money, and that is what happened. I have a way of talking to the mountain people without going there. Probably he can lock me out of the rest of the country because I don't know how to communicate with those people. But for the mountain is an exercise in futility.
Okay.
And I said, when I was told, the people who told me were advising me not to go. They told me the gangs there will kill you. I said I will not cancel. If they kill me inside the church because I'm a member of PCA, I'll be a martyr. And I'll go straight to heaven if I'm killed in church. And I said I cannot run away. I'm not a coward. I'm a son of the Mau Mau. And when they came, I want to thank the Christians. The men did what we do in our community. They rise to defend the women and the children. The women and the children's comfort for safety, but the men joined with my people, fought off the criminal gangs.
So to the naysayers who might argue that, and of course, chaos at the pulpit is unfortunate and something to be frowned upon.
Not even at the pulpit, anywhere, generally. Chaos are unfortunate.
Yes. So to those who might push a narrative that, lightning just doesn't strike the same place twice, perhaps this is something set up to bring out the emotions of voters, to sort of bring the empathy, to those who might say that this was stage managed.
That is a narrative by the government, and it's a stupid narrative. It cannot go anywhere. When we were attacked in Limuru, it was in broad daylight, everybody was there. They almost killed me in Limuru. When I was attacked in Shamata, everybody was there. President William Ruto used to say that there are no fools in this country. I don't know at what point he changed his mind. He thinks they are fools. You cannot fool all the people all the time. People know that the government is organizing violence against me, and the people who are unhappy with what is happening in the country. But I want to say we are not intimidated. We are not cowed. We'll stand firm. I have asked our people not to retaliate, but the young people are telling me now this is too much. And that is what happened in Wake yesterday. And much as we have told our people not to, counter these gangs, I'm not sure that will happen anymore from what happened yesterday in Wake.
Okay.
They'll be countered because really, if the police do not want to keep law and order, the Deputy Inspector General of Police is the one who told the police to keep off. I've heard DCI saying that they were not aware. They were told not to keep off, and they called us, policemen from Wake. We are told not to come. So if the police do not want to keep law and order, If you want this country people to take the law into their own hands, there's nothing we can do as private citizens. Even I was told when we had this interview, the local member of parliament back home there was saying he'll organize goons to attack my Wamunyoro home to distract the attention of the people from this interview. If they want to attack my home in Wamunyoro, let them go ahead. They can touch the house, they can do whatever they want to do. My former PA, who now works for the president, was even saying that he'll organize people to attack my businesses in Nyeri town. They can go ahead and do whatever they want to do. What I know is that our people have made certain decisions. Those decisions will not be changed by them harming me, by them burning my house, by them burning my property. It will just solidify the resistance in the mountain. It will just harness the rebellion in the mountain. And the more they do it, the worse it becomes. Whatever little gain the president may have made in that trip was cancelled yesterday when goons attacked us in charge.
Okay.
The people of the mountain are very Christian, and they believe in God and the sanctity of places of worship. By government sending people, and the conversation in the mountain last night was, this reminds us of Kiaba Church. The impunity. When goons, when 35 women and their children were in a church